Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. So I am switching from my S25 Ultra to the Z Fold 7. And of course, when you make such a switch, when you go from an S device to a Fold device, there are some losses, but simultaneously there are some gains. For me, the gains are going to be more important and the losses are going to be tolerable. So let's dive in and see exactly why I'm making this switch. I'm also going to talk about the cost to upgrade. So if you switch from the S25 Ultra to the Z Fold 7, I want to talk about the rough cost that you would have to pay. I'll give you a breakdown on that, but let's dive in and talk about the Fold 7 advantages over the S25 Ultra that are causing me to switch over. So the first and most important factor is the fact that we now have a wider outer display and we have a larger outer display. And the fact that we have an inner display that when you unfold it turns into a tablet. But let me quickly first talk about the outer display here. Guys, before we dive in real quick, if you are planning to buy the Galaxy Z Fold 7, use the exclusive links below for sakitech viewers to unlock some serious perks. First, you get a free $50 Samsung credit which activates when you click the link. Get up to $150 storage upgrade credit. You can use that to double your storage for free or get a huge discount on the 1 terabyte model. Get up to $1,000 in trading credits for your old Samsung device. And also get 30% off on Galaxy watches and buds. These are limited time exclusive offers available through the link below. So in the past, I've tried switching from the S25 Ultra to the Samsung Galaxy Fold 6. And for the most part, I was fine, but there was a serious limitation with the narrowness of this display. So I could do some things, but I could not do most things without having access to a full-size display like this one over here. So that was a huge pain point, and then I had to put this away, even though I purchased the crafted black color, which is one of my favorites. I purchased this for myself to use it daily, but again, the narrow display was such a pain in the behind that I had to put that away. I did not like the fact that I had to constantly open the display to access functions that require a little bit more involvement, okay? Now, with the display on the Z Fold 7 being wider and larger, that problem has disappeared. One of the biggest pain points is gone. I have full access to this display that is not narrow, that is not restricted. I can do a lot of things on this phone right here. So even something as simple as typing a text message is much more easy because we have a larger display. The keyboard is now much more usable as opposed to the Fold 6, which was much narrow. And then at nighttime, or maybe if I want to read a book or watch a movie, I would retire to my couch or my bed and I would simply unfold this guy and I would have access to the full display. And that is very important to understand because this is now a two-in-one device. So I have two devices, fully functional devices without the previous restrictions. I have a regular phone like this one, and then when I unfold it, I have a media powerhouse right here to watch movies or whatever, even to do some work and multitasking. So now the price I'm paying for this foldable is worth it more than before. To be clear, previously I was getting a nice display on the inside. There's no question about that, okay? But I was getting a restricted display on the outside. Now that is gone, so I really have a true two-in-one device, a phone on the outside, a tablet on the inside. Now let me show you something else over here. So if you're somebody that does a lot of work, like multitasking, again, this is going to be much superior. When you are ready to do some work, you unfold it, you put it on the desk. And then let me show you what you can do. So let's open up one application. Let's just grab the calculator. And then what I want to do is I want to start multitasking. So I'm going to tap over here, open split screen. Let's just bring in this as an example. And now I also want to bring in another application. So let's pull this up. And I'm going to grab as an example clock application. This is just examples. Now I have split screen multitasking. I can do 3 windows at the same time and I can arrange them as I please, as you can see. Okay, so that is great. That can be my workflow for different apps. Over here I can do multitasking as well. Okay, so I can go to my calculator and then I can just open it up in a split screen. All right, and I can just bring something from here, calendar, so I can do that over here as well. But look at the difference in the workspace. Even if I only had 2 applications running on each phone, look at the difference in real estate. It is like having 2 Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultras right over here, side by side. And because the screen is larger, they allow me to do additional multitasking. So if I grab one of these guys, boom, look at that, beautiful. So from a multitasking perspective, you can see the difference in the workspace that you get. Literally, I have 2 phones right over here. There's 1 phone right over here. But then, like I said, when I'm not working and I'm just doing regular stuff, boom, I have my fully usable regular display right over here. So the gains I'm getting from this, because I use these features all the time, are going to be phenomenal, specifically for me. Now, one more thing I like about the Fold is it has the flex mode utility. So I can go to the flex mode, I can make video calls, I can use the phone itself as a tripod, basically, as a stand. I can watch YouTube videos in that mode, and so many more options with the flex mode utility. So I feel like we do have the portability without compromise with the Fold 7. Now, there is one more thing that's very important that some people don't understand. If I go to my settings over here on both of these phones, and if I scroll down to device care right here, now both of these phones have the same Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, so you get rock solid performance. But look at this, both of these phones also have 12 gigabytes of RAM. However, the S25 Ultra is limited to 12 gigabytes, but with the Fold 7, if I get the 1 terabyte model, I will be able to get 16 gigabytes of RAM. This phone here is the one that was sent to me by Samsung, so this is not going to be my main phone. I'm not going to be using this as my daily. I actually purchased the 1 terabyte model so I can have the 16 gigabytes of RAM. Okay? Why? Because we have that powerful processor, we have the dual displays, enhanced multitasking. The 16 gigabytes will help, especially if you're a heavy-duty power user. So on this one, even if I get the 1 terabyte model, in most markets, you get 12 gigabytes of RAM. So that is another thing that is important. I can even now edit movies on this one. I can unfold this, I can buy some software, and I can edit movies, and it's going to be faster with the 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, there are 2 specific losses that you will feel if you get rid of the S25 Ultra and you switch to the Fold 7. One of them is, if I go to device care, it's going to be the battery, okay? The S25 Ultra is going to have slightly longer battery life by a couple hours after a full charge. This has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. This one has a 4,400 milliamp hour battery. This also has faster charging at 45 watts. This one charges at 25 watts. So you'll see a drop in battery life, but I'm surrounded with chargers everywhere. In my car, in my home, in my office, anywhere I go, there's a charger available. So for me, that's not a problem. So that loss, to me, doesn't have any special impact. The next loss is going to be right here under advanced features. So if I go to my advanced features on both of these phones, you'll see that this one has the S Pen, okay? So that is right over here. You can sketch, you can write, you can access Air Command. Anything you do when it comes to sketching, writing is going to be more precise with the S Pen. The S Pen has been completely removed from the Fold 7. They don't even have the menu for the S Pen anymore, and no physical capability to accept S Pen. So if I take this S Pen, you can see it does not recognize it because they removed the digitizer from inside the display. It's gone, which is partially why it is able to be so thin and so light. So this loss I am willing to swallow for all the benefits I'm getting based on my personal use of these devices. Now, there's a couple other things that the S25 has that the Fold doesn't have. The S25 has a camera that is slightly more advanced. We have a telephoto camera with 5x optical zoom. On this one, we have a telephoto camera with 3x optical zoom. I do like the 5x, but again, I'm willing to take that loss. Now let's move on and talk about the cost to upgrade. So I am going to get rid of my S25 Ultra. I'm going to get the Z Fold 7 in 1 terabyte. Let me show you how much that's going to cost me. And remember, if you decide to buy the Fold 7 for yourself, I do have some links down below with exclusive deals for sakitech viewers. You will get some powerful benefits. But anyway, let's look at the cost difference. All right, so when you click the link down below, you're going to be at this website, and you can see we have a lot of savings going on here. But let's quickly build the deal I'm talking about. So I'm going to pick an unlock model over here. That's the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. And I will scroll down, and you will notice that right now you are getting free double storage upgrade. So there's no point in buying the 256 gigabyte model. You should just get the 512 gigabyte model. Personally, I will get the 1 terabyte model, but let's use 512 as an example. So 512, scroll down, pick a color. Let's say silver shadow, and then scroll down again, and here's the big magic. You can see you can save up to $1,000 if you trade in, so I'm going to say yes. If you don't trade in, you're still getting a $300 Samsung credit. But with the trade-in, I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to say brand Samsung, and I'm going to say that I want to trade in my S25 Ultra, for which I am getting $1,000, as you can see, in credit. So I'm going to say, yes, I agree. And then if you want Samsung here, you can get that as well. I'm going to say no coverage. I will scroll down. You do have the option to buy anything additional here at a discount, as you can see. But I do want to show you the final price. So when you go down, the Z Fold 7, the 512 gigabyte model is normally $2,120. Next, I'm getting $120 credit for free storage upgrade, and then I'm getting $1,000 credit for my trade-in. So that phone that is supposed to be $2,120 is now only $1,000, which is crazy. And of course, remember, when you click the link down below, you also get additional $50 credit. So when I tap on pre-order on the next screen, you'll have this $50 credit, and using that, you can buy any one of these accessories. Personally, I just go with a case from here. That $50 free credit covers a free case like this one. And then you continue and you check out. All right, so that's it. Basically, Samsung gives me $1,000 for my S25 Ultra, which brings down the Fold 7 to $1,000, which is like 50% off. To me, that's a great deal. And to summarize, like I said, I am getting dual displays, a 2-in-1 phone, and this time it is an actual 2-in-1 phone because the outer display is wider and fully usable, but then when I want a tablet, I can unfold it and have full access to the tablet for media consumption, multitasking, reading, so I don't have to have a tablet on the side. And the fact that it is so thin, so light, it just feels like a regular phone when it is folded. I get my 16 gigabytes of RAM with that Snapdragon processor for maximum performance. It replaces both a phone and a tablet, so portability without compromise. And like I mentioned, I do lose a couple things. The major ones being the S Pen, the larger battery, but those two things I can swallow for the gains I get on the other end. As of now, I'm making the switch. Anything changes, I'll let you guys know. But for this video, that's all there is to it. Let me know what you guys are doing. Would you upgrade from the S25 Ultra to the Fold 7? Did you already do it? Drop those comments down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day, all right?